All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 168-pound division, where a report came out from ESPN about Canelo Alvarez fighting Terence Crawford after Jermell Charlo. And it has been denied by an upper-level person within the PBC. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 168-pound division, where there has been information released from ESPN that about Canelo Alvarez's next two opponents. And let's put it this way, both of them would make me happy. I would take both of them. But to tell you the truth, only one of them is really likely. And the other one has been pretty much denied by the PBC itself, or at least they poured water on it and told people not to believe it. And the person in the PBC that said this is Leonard Ellerby, who is most definitely in the know about what is going on with the PBC card. Now, before I get into the details, hey, thank you so much for coming to the channel. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thanks for your support. And if you feel like sponsoring this channel, in the super thanks below, it would be greatly appreciated. It goes a long way to being allowed to be able to continue to do these type of videos and set the record straight. Okay. First and foremost, Canelo Alvarez is the 168-pound world champion, undisputed world champion, and has been so for a while now. Like, he's been there. He's been undisputed for a while now. And I got to kind of take my hat off to him, because he's the first person to be undisputed in a very long time and actually stay undisputed for over a year. He didn't drop any of the belts. He did go up. He did go up and fight at a different weight class and come back down. But yeah, I think he found that 175 was really not for him. And he stayed at 168 pounds. Now, however, there is, according to ESPN, his next two fights coming up, and they say that it looks like it's going to be Jermell Charlo and Terence Crawford. And not that I have a problem with either one of those fights. First of all, I like Jermell Charlo, the fight with Jermell Charlo, because I like Jermell Charlo. And that's a fight that I've wanted to see for a long time. Jermell has fought at 168 once, even though, you know, it was a little bit further down. It was above the 160-pound limit, but below the 168-pound limit. So technically at that right there is fighting at 168 pounds. Obviously an easy comeback fight for him, but he looked good. And hey, man, I wouldn't mind seeing the guy get a payday. That's the interest that I would have for Jermell Charlo in that fight, and just something that I've wanted to see. Terence Crawford also pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. I think he's the best fighter in the world. If he's not going to stay at 147 and fight Jaron Ennis or fight Errol in the rematch, man, I don't have a problem whatsoever with him fighting Canelo Alvarez. I absolutely think he can win. I thought he could win before I saw Canelo fight Jermell. Then I saw Canelo fight Jermell, and I was like, I don't know. He may be a little bit too much. And then I went, after I let kind of the moment die down, I'm back to thinking, Terence Crawford may be able to pull that off. So, hey, man, that would be a really good fight for Terence Crawford. I don't really know what it means for boxing, because he's not going to continue to fight there. It's not like, it just means all the belts are going to get scattered. So from the aspect of looking at it for a fight that I think is a good fight, a competitive fight that can go either way, I like that fight. For the actual weight division, I don't like the fight at all, because Terence is not going to be fighting David Benavidez, David Morrell, Mbele, Jaime Munguia, Caleb Plant. He's not fighting any of those guys, right? So, I mean, what are you going to get if he wins, right? You're going to get all the belts dropped and everybody trying to figure out what they're going to do to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, right? Or what you're going to wind up is if Terence don't knock him out, you're going to get a robbery. You're going to get somebody crying robbery because you got to knock him out to beat him, dang near. Or Bivol won that fight, but dang, it was a close fight and it looked like Bivol completely dominated it. But with that said, though, Leonard Ellerbe said, man, don't believe it. Don't believe it. You also have boxing writers like Paul Magno come out and say, man, don't believe everything you read. And I'm going to tell you, I don't believe it because I doubt very much that came from Eddie Reynoso, Canelo Alvarez, or Al Heyman. More than likely, that was somebody speculating about the possibilities and what one particular person who may be associated with the PBC says they would like to see. But the fact of the matter is that this particular reporter, whose name I'm not going to mention, also said before that it was Jaime Munguia was the next guy that was going to fight him. Before, he had also said, I looked at other bits of information that came out and I've seen him wrong several times. And he was really not that committal. He said it just kind of looks like. And I just think more than likely what's going on is what's going on YouTube, man. It's just not a lot going on in boxing. We're really waiting for this year to kick off. And this year is probably not going to kick off until the March timeframe. And until then, there's going to be just a lot of speculation about what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised also that somebody may have said that or tried to leak that to kind of move people away from the fights that they're really trying to make. You can just go back a couple of weeks ago and it was, and Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero was a done deal, right? Ryan Garcia announced it. What happened? Boom, Cruz and Rolly Romero is announced. So I'm not putting too much into that at all, even though, again, I said, I would absolutely positively take that fight. I wouldn't have any problem whatsoever with it happening. I would like to see it. I think Terence Crawford can win. I think Canelo Alvarez can win, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense from a business standpoint, from the PBC's, from Canelo's standpoint, because again, Canelo said, man, what in the world do I have to gain from this? And I doubt very much that the PBC is going to be trying to say, well, you know what? We really think that this fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford is like Mayweather Pacquiao. It may very well be like Floyd Mayweather Jr., Oscar De La Hoya. But the question is Canelo Alvarez in the same stage of his career that Oscar was when he fought Floyd? And I don't think he is, because Oscar had already gone up to all the way up to 160. He'd already lost to Bernard Hopkins. He'd already had all this Mosley, and he was really, really, really close to retire. Where Canelo, it doesn't seem like that's the case for him. Also, he has been very, very conservative about his picks, right? Now, that's why Jermall Charlo makes sense to me. Also, I think that there's going to be a really big outcry in that second fight if it doesn't wind up being David Benavidez. And I'm telling you, if for some reason Terence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford doesn't fight David Benavidez, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what does it matter? Because that's the guy in that division. It's similar to what's going on at 147 pounds, right? Where Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence. If he stays at 147, but he won't fight Jaron Ennis, there's a lot of questions about that, because boxing doesn't have a season that ends. And when you're a champion, your job is to defend against the other people, the other top contenders. It is really Canelo Alvarez's job to fight David Benavidez. And it is really Terence Crawford's job to fight Jaron Ennis, because that's what you're supposed to do when you're the champion. But we'll see what happens. Again, Floyd Mayweather's CEO Leonard Ellerbe said, man, don't believe anything till you hear it come out of those guys' mouths. And every time that Leonard Ellerbe has come out and said that, it's wound up being that the thing didn't happen. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.